Hi, my name's Emma, and let's talk spooky stuff. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another Unpopular Opinions. I've done a couple of these, and it never gets easier. Today is formed around, as my other videos, me having this overwhelming thing I wanted to rant about. So I work it into one of these videos. And trust me, I'm never short of unpopular opinions. Horror is very divisive. Before we jump into it, if you don't know, my name is Emma. I do 2 videos every single week talking about horrors and thrillers, giving you a lot to put on your to-watch list. My aim, of course, is to talk about horror movies and give my perspective, but also to let you know about what's coming out and what horror movies I'd recommend depending on your taste. So this channel is dedicated to you and letting you know whether you should take that trip to the cinema to see that new film or about that hidden gem you may have missed. I'd love if you subscribed here, and if you are subscribed, I'd love if you hit the bell. Enough stalling. My first unpopular opinion, and this is going to be super unpopular, I can feel it. I've heard a lot of rants lately, and from all of my friends, mind you. I have so many people that I love in this community, and all of them, we all have different opinions all the time, and I think that people who make videos, they obviously know how cruel people can be in the comments. So they're the last people who are going to call someone out on a film, whether they like it or they don't like it. I feel like we know, each to their own, which most level-headed people do. But I've been hearing this argument lately about disturbing horror movies, and I mean, I have very questionable taste when it comes to disturbing horror movies. I like some really dark stuff, and I feel like a lot of people have been talking about horror movies that they would turn off or they refuse to watch, which, I mean, I did a video on that too, so I can completely agree that everyone has a line. I feel like a lot of people are getting shamed, or I guess, gatekeeping comes into it when they refuse to watch a very disgusting, gruesome, dark movie, where I have done some reviews on some dark, disturbing, disgusting movies, and I've been harassed over it. So I guess my unpopular opinion is gatekeeping is just as bad, with people saying, oh, you're not a hardcore horror fan because you don't watch this. I get it the other way. I get called disgusting. Someone told me that I should go bald, which was the most, I can't believe someone would write that. Could you imagine someone's just like, I wish this bitch would go bald. I get harassed because I like disturbing movies. So I feel like gatekeeping works on both sides. Unfortunately, they can come from all corners and attack us, but that is my first unpopular opinion. I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough that people who like disturbing movies get harassed or get gatekeeped, because in a way, we're being told that we don't belong in the horror community because what we like passes others' threshold of what they find disturbing and what they can handle, which is totally fine. I don't think everyone has to enjoy Gaspar Noé's films, but I love them, and I don't want to be criticized because that's what horror was all about. Horror was about finding people who were also into this niche, dark genre, and although it can be dark for some people, it can be popcorn horror for others, I just don't think I should be getting harassed over it, especially when I'm not the filmmaker. For me, I know it's just a movie, and I can completely understand that everyone has a line. I have a line, but I don't think that we should be hating on other people for liking movies, especially when they are movies and they're not based on true things. I'm not talking about Cannibal Holocaust. I'm not talking about those kinds of films where it's actually something real is happening. I'm talking about certain films. I don't want to name it because I feel like everyone will rush and find my reviews of these films, but I've just, especially after TikTok, I feel like it got so much worse because a lot of people went over to TikTok and they just heard about films, and majority of these people who rant and rave at me are finding the Wikipedia pages of these films and not actually watching them, and then telling me I'm a disgusting human being who should be in jail because I like films. And let me tell you, they're fictional. That's my whole thing. Cannibal Holocaust, I get. The whole turtle thing, it's horrendous. I'm not talking about anything happening to animals or anything real. I'm talking about pure fiction. The time has come where people are clamping down on disturbing movies, and if you like them, if you aren't disgusted by them, you're in trouble. That's my unpopular opinion first. I just had to get it out. I've been feeling this way for a long time. The way that you get your YouTube comments comes by most recent if you aren't filtering it by video. So nearly every day I get horrendous comments because I like certain films that are very controversial. And I get that, but It's also some of the videos that a lot of you guys subscribed for because you were happy with me being open and honest about my opinion. On that, real quick, I don't think this is unpopular, but I've been getting a couple of comments, especially on my Candyman review, saying that I sound like I'm trying to talk around a point or convince myself of something. If I want to say something, I'm going to say it, because trust me, I've said a lot worse on my channel. If I'm gonna make a video based on my opinion of a film, I'm gonna say it all. I did it for Black Christmas. You have to put it all out there. I would not get where I am now if I was not completely honest, and there'd be no point. I'd be wasting my time. This is not my job. And I only want to be honest with you guys. So hopefully people can respect that, but maybe not. My second unpopular opinion is going to be more of a deep cut into horror, I guess, because it's about the movie The Guest, which is directed by Adam Wingard. I really don't like this movie. And have you ever seen a movie where you just don't understand if you're watching the right film because everyone else loves it? If you don't know about this movie, it is about this mysterious man who shows up on this family's doorstep who have lost their son in a war, and he claims to be the friend of the son, but he's very sketchy. The film is like an action-packed, which again, just not my favorite, but just like this action-packed, cheesy movie, and it has like a great cast. It's shot really nicely, but I just don't understand the appeal. And the thing that freaks me out about this film is it fluctuates between like a 6.5 and a 6.9, nearly like bordering a 7 on IMDb. And of course that's not a problem. There's a lot of films that I won't like that a lot of other people like, but I just hear people talk about this film and rave like it's a hidden gem. And I guess it is for people, but for me, I could just never get down with it. I thought it was so cheesy. It was so obvious. And I think that's what people like about it, but it just wasn't for me. And I feel like I just needed to say that because I've gotten so many comments over the years like, oh, have you ever seen The Guest? I'm like, yes, and I just don't understand it. But I still want to give Adam Wingard some love. So on the flip side of that, Adam Wingard also directed Blair Witch, which is the sequel. It's not actually a reboot or a remake. If you've seen it, it's very clear that it's a sequel. It's following Heather's younger brother going back into the woods and trying to figure out what happened. And I feel like people hate this film. Again, on the score, it's got a 5 out of 10 on IMDb, and I just don't understand. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I feel like the tension's there. They tried to pay homage a lot to the original, even the way they hold the cameras, the way it's filmed, all of the locations. And the whole lead up at the end is quite terrifying. I'm the only person who finds this movie scary. And I love the original. The original is one of my favorite movies ever. And I love, this is definitely, why did I even bring this up? Then I love Book of Shadows, which is the second one that everyone hates. Maybe I just love everything Blair Witch. Blair Witch can do no wrong, but I know that it doesn't hold a candle to the original. I completely understand that, but I felt like it gave enough homage and it was close enough to the story, and it's not strange or anything. It's the same kind of story happening again, and I just don't understand why it's rated so low. I feel like this is just turning into a video about me loving or hating Adam Wingard's films. Back on track, my next unpopular opinion is about American Horror Story. I've touched on this before, but just to put it out there, I think American Horror Story is very creepy, but not in the same way everyone else does. The sexual tension, not for me. And the tension in the coven, absolutely terrifying. You know, when I was just talking about how people come at me because of disturbing stuff, I think that this is actually disturbing and just sick. The whole zombie boy threesome activity that's going on with these young girls. I'm allowed to say young girl, by the way. I am one. Maybe not anymore. I find it really gross, but that's not my unpopular opinion. My unpopular opinion is Freak Show is the best season of that show. It's got the best reach, the most interesting stories, a lot of them based on true life, which, I mean, I guess it got more into that as it went on with American Horror Story, but I just don't hear enough love for Freak Show. I think it is one of the greatest seasons of, I guess, horror TV shows, but especially American Horror Story. I will die by that. I love Freak Show. I also love the fact that I'm realizing now how creepy Zombie Boy was, but now it's okay if he has lobster hands, which I think that's probably just as creepy. Think about how iconic it was. It had Pepper, it has Dandy Mott, who I freaking love. You have Meep, you have Twisty the Clown. I just think it's the most poetic and sad and just beautiful season. Anyway, that's definitely unpopular, I think. Okay, this is my last unpopular opinion, and this is gonna reach out past horror and more to the fact of watching film. I get a lot of comments and I see a lot of people put down others for the way they watch a movie. So whether that is, oh, you didn't watch it at the cinema or you couldn't see it on big screen. I watch a lot of stuff on my laptop and I find it quite immersive. I have earphones on. I'm usually in my bed in the dark. I don't have a TV in my bedroom. And a lot of people tell me, oh, that's not a way to watch a movie. But while it would be ideal to watch every single horror movie in a theater or in a home theater, some of my best ever viewing experiences have been on small TVs or on the airplane. Sometimes it's your state of mind and really, you know, locking into the movie. Obviously the cinema, the screen can't be beat and the surround sound, but sometimes when you're locked into one spot and you're watching this movie and it's got your undivided attention, you can't go on the internet, you know, sometimes it's about the distractions. And I really do think that we should stop judging people for how they watch movies as long as they can watch them. Another really cool way I used to watch movies, I used to have this really old tube TV, so like one of those ones that curved. And I used to watch the classic Universal monster pictures on there. That's where I saw them all for the first time. It's not like all of us could have seen them in cinemas. So it really added to the effect. I used to be in this like old creepy room and I'd have that tube TV and it was in black and white and it just felt like it suited the mood and the tone. And I know a lot of people watch, you know, on VHS and they really love that medium. So I feel like we need to stop judging people for how they watch films as long as they're getting into it and they're not being distracted. I just think people are being too judgmental and too, oh my god, I watched this on Blu-ray on this, da da da. That's cool and good for you, but not everyone has that access. So especially with everything going on today, a lot of people have to watch stuff at home, and as long as they limit their distractions, I don't see any problem with that. Thank you so much for letting me get these off my chest. I hope they made sense. I can't wait to hear your unpopular opinions down below. Let me know what you thought about these because they were a little bit different to the ones I've done before. I just had a lot of like the gatekeeping stuff on my mind, and I just wanted to get that out and off my chest. And hopefully you guys are kind in the comments, but I can't wait to see what your unpopular opinions are. So instead of just replying to exactly what I said, let me know something that you think is unpopular or your opinion on the way we watch movies and the whole gatekeeping situation. I would love to hear from you. Thank you all so much for supporting me and being here. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll talk to you very soon. Stay spooky. Bye friends.